All right, so are you ready to go deep on this new Haas VF25?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, cool, because this thing has been making waves. Like, I've been reading through all these F1 blogs and articles, and people are really split on it. Some are saying Haas is brilliant. Others are saying they're completely nuts.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not playing it safe.
Yeah, well, let's start with the elephant in the room, right? They're using the 2024 Ferrari front suspension instead of upgrading to the new one for 2025.
It is a bit of a head scratcher. Like, most teams are all about the latest and greatest tech, right? The newer, the better, but Haas is bucking the trend.
I mean, it's like showing up to a gunfight with a knife, right? Everyone else has got these fancy new laser pistols, and Haas is like, nah, I'm good with my trusty old blade.
Well, maybe they know how to use that knife really well.
I mean, that's kind of what their team principal, Gather Steiner's saying, right? He's like, we know this car inside and out. We're not going to chase shiny new toys. We're going to master what we have.
It's a bold strategy, for sure.
But what if the new suspension is like a game changer? What if everyone else is suddenly lapping them because Haas is stuck with last year's tech?
There's definitely a risk there. But Haas is playing the long game here. They just signed a partnership with Toyota.
Ah, okay, this is where it gets interesting.
Think of it this way. The suspension is like the foundation of a house. Haas is saying, we've got a solid foundation. We know how to build on it. And now they've got Toyota with their resources and expertise to help them build something amazing.
So even if they start a little behind, they could catch up quickly thanks to Toyota's development support.
Exactly. Toyota brings a wealth of data and testing capabilities. It's like they've unlocked a secret level in the game.
Okay, so it's not just blind faith in old tech. It's a calculated risk with a powerful partner backing them up. All right, but let's talk about the car itself. The VF25 doesn't look radically different from last year's car, does it?
Yeah, it's more of an evolution than a revolution, visually at least.
But there must be some changes, right? What's different?
Well, for one, they've redesigned the side pods with a more aggressive undercut.
Okay, back up a sec. What does that even mean?
It's all about aerodynamics. They've basically sculpted the side pods to improve airflow towards the rear of the car, which could give them more downforce and less drag.
So it's like those little tweaks that can make a big difference, kind of like tuning a guitar to get the perfect sound.
Yeah, exactly. They're fine-tuning what they have, focusing on those subtle details that can add up to serious performance gains.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all fits together. They've got their old reliable suspension, a new partnership with a powerhouse like Toyota, and they're making these strategic tweaks to the car. But can they really pull this off? Can a small team like Haas actually compete with the big boys?
It's a David versus Goliath situation, but Haas has never backed down from a challenge, and they're definitely not satisfied with just being on the grid. They want to make a statement.
And they're certainly doing that. Whether it's a stroke of genius or a spectacular flop, this is going to be one heck of a season to watch.
Absolutely. Haas is the wild card. They're proving that there's more than one way to win in Formula One.
And that's what makes this sport so exciting, right?
Right.
Okay, so we're back, and we're still trying to wrap our heads around this Haas VF25.
It's a puzzle, all right.
Yeah, before we took a break, we were talking about how they're betting on this older suspension and how Toyota could be their secret weapon.
Right.
But even with all that, can Haas really go toe-to-toe with the big teams in Formula One?
I mean, it's like bringing a slingshot to a tank battle, right?
Pretty much, but Haas has always been kind of a scrappy underdog.
They've definitely got that fighting spirit.
And they had a surprisingly good season last year, right? They finished 7th in the Constructor Championship.
Yeah, they punch way above their weight.
So they're not just happy to be there. They're actually trying to make a run for it.
Absolutely, and they've been making changes to the team, bringing in new people, shaking things up.
Okay, like what kind of changes?
Well, they've added some serious firepower to their leadership team. A new chief race engineer, a head of strategy, and a sporting director.
So they're bringing in the big guns.
Yeah, people with tons of experience, and they're also promoting from within, giving some of their younger engineers a chance to step up.
Like Laura Miller, right? She's the first full-time female race engineer in Formula One.
Yeah, it's a big deal for the sport.
Okay, so they've got the new car, the revamped team, and of course the Toyota partnership. So how exactly is Toyota going to help them?
Well, in the short term, they've got this amazing program called the Testing of Previous Cars.
The what now?
TPC. Basically, they can take old cars out on the track run tests, gather data, and use all that to improve the VF25.
So it's like a giant laboratory for them to experiment and learn.
Exactly. It can try out different setups, different parts, see what works and what doesn't.
And then in the long run, Toyota's resources and expertise are going to be huge, right?
Absolutely. Toyota is helping them upgrade their facilities, get access to cutting-edge tech. It's a total game changer.
So this partnership is not just a quick fix, it's a long-term investment in Haas's future.
Yeah, Toyota is betting on Haas, and Haas is betting on Toyota.
It's a pretty big deal for a small team like Haas to land a partner like Toyota.
It shows that they're serious. They're not just messing around. They want to be a force in Formula One.
And they're not afraid to do things differently, right? They're not following the crowd. They're forging their own path.
Yeah, they're the mavericks of Formula One, and that's what makes them so interesting to watch.
So will their unconventional approach lead them to victory? Or will they crash and burn?
That's the million-dollar question. Only time will tell, but it's going to be a wild ride.
I'm definitely buckled up and ready for the show.
Me too.
Okay, so we've talked about all the cool stuff Haas is doing with the VF25, but let's be real. There's got to be some challenges too, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, the pressure's on. They had that amazing result last year, finishing 7th.
Right, they really turned heads.
Exactly. So now the big question is, can they do it again?
Yeah, everyone's going to be watching to see if they can keep up that momentum.
And let's not forget about the suspension issue. They're sticking with the older tech while everyone else is upgrading.
Yeah, what if that comes back to bite them?
It could. If the new suspension is a major step forward, Haas could find themselves struggling to keep up.
So they're really rolling the dice on that one.
They are, but they're confident in their understanding of the old system, and they believe it can close the gap with Toyota's help.
Okay, fair enough. But even with Toyota on their side, Haas is still the smallest team out there, right?
True, they don't have the same resources as the big boys.
So how can they possibly compete?
They have to be smarter. They have to be more efficient with their budget, their time, their people. Every decision has to count.
So it's not just about having a fast car, it's about having a winning strategy.
Exactly. They need to make the most of every opportunity, every pit stop, every overtaking maneuver.
It's like they're playing chess against a grandmaster, but with half the pieces.
That's a good analogy. And let's not forget that Formula One is a constantly evolving sport.
Right, the rules change, the technology changes, it's a never-ending arms race.
Exactly. So Haas has to be adaptable. They have to be able to think on their feet and adjust to whatever comes their way.
It's a tall order, but they've shown that they're not afraid of a challenge.
And they've got Guenther Steiner leading the charge.
Yeah, he's a real character.
He's not afraid to speak his mind, and he's instilled that fighting spirit in the whole team.
So it sounds like Haas has all the pieces in place. A solid car, a strong partnership, and a leader who's not afraid to take risks.
They do, but the big question is, will it be enough?
Will their gamble pay off? Can they defy the odds and continue their climb to the top?
We'll have to wait and see, but one thing's for sure, it's going to be an exciting season.
Absolutely, Haas is the team to watch. They're shaking things up and proving that there's more than one way to succeed in Formula One.
And that's what makes this sport so captivating, the constant innovation, the strategic battles, the underdog stories.
It's all part of the drama, and we can't wait to see how it unfolds.
So buckle up, folks. It's going to be a wild ride.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into the Haas VF25.
We hope you enjoyed it.
If you did, be sure to like and subscribe and let us know your thoughts in the comments.
And until next time, keep exploring the world of Formula One.
Because there's always something new to discover.